Hi, this is Jay Kelly. Welcome to Infotech. One of the most important things to me is to be able to give my clients as much production value as I can without breaking my own personal bank account. The best way to do this that I'm aware of is to give a little bit of movement to your shots. Of course, you have to do it in relation to your story, but this isn't Film School 101. This is an equipment video, and we're going to talk about how to give your camera some movement without having to bring in a dolly grip and a whole bunch of heavy equipment. The idea here is called a slider. Now, there are many definitions of sliders. The most purest form would be a tripod with a rail that sits on top of it that's only about 3 feet long, and the camera simply slides back and forth across the rail. But there are other types of sliders as well, and one of them is this baby right here. It's called a Dana Dolly. Now, the actual product consists of this end, the rails, this platform, and the other end. All right? The rails themselves, the piping, is not part of Dana Dolly. These are the rails that you will just pick up. That's part of the beauty of this system. The Dana Dolly is my favorite one of all the sliders, and the reason being is simple. It offers me the most flexibility. I need something that can manipulate itself depending on what shoots I want to do. And the designer of the Dana Dolly made very sure that when he built this thing, it was done in such a way where you can jury rig it, modify it, do a lot of things to make the shot you want given your circumstances. All right, so we're going to talk about it, but as you know, one of our policies here is also to show you how to set it up, show you how to use it. So let's get started with that first. Okay, the first thing we're going to have, obviously, is the dolly, and that's what's in this case right here. Now, you can get the dolly in a lot of different configurations. What we got was what they would call the rental kit, which is a very nice case, and just about every adapter, everything that you need. Okay, so the first thing we're going to start with is we're going to get our 2 track ends out, and we're going to put them on the table with the spuds facing up. All right, after that, we're going to go ahead and take our 2 pieces of pipe. Now, the pipe that we're using is 4 feet long. You can, like I said, you can pick any length you want. And to be honest with you, 4 feet long has ended up being a little short for me. I think for my shorter end of pipe, I probably want something more in the 5-foot range, just because it's a little easier for me to deal with in terms of length. I don't really need anything so short. We're going to slide it in, and then once he's done with that, he'll put the screws together and screw it down. Now, I realize that under normal circumstances, you would put this on your stands and then put the pipe in next. In this case, we've done it on top of a table so that I could show you that by putting the studs pointing up, you can, in fact, use this as a low-profile dolly on the floor. And there you go. It's pretty slick. You do have to keep in mind that your head for your tripod is going to have to be very, very short on the bottom, something I talked about earlier. We'll get more into that, but just keep this in mind. All you do is flip the track over, and you can lay it on top of anything that has a flat surface. It could be a dining room table or just the floor. All right, so let's talk about how we put this on the stands itself. Okay, to do that, all we're really doing is going to take the track, flip it over, and just insert it into the hole. There you go. That is basically it. Like I said, this is not brain surgery. It's simple, and it works really, really well. Now let's put the platform on the track so you can see how that works. We should talk a little bit about these wheels. These are not standard skateboard wheels. They are made specifically for the Dana Dolly. They're very, very soft, and they're just ever so slightly rounded. And the advantage that these wheels give you is no matter if you have slight damage on the pipe, these wheels do a fantastic job of going over those scratches and giving no effect to the smooth feel of your move, all right? So let's talk about the adapters. The first one we're going to take out is 150 millimeter bowl mount. The next one is let's see what that is. That's your 100 millimeter bowl mount. And finally, a 75 millimeter bowl mount. Now, the plate itself uses a Mitchell mount. That's what's already been bored into the plate. So between the Mitchell mount, the 75, the 150, the 100, you pretty much have everything you could need for mounting a tripod head or a geared head onto your system. Next step is, let's put the 100 millimeter on there, and we're going to show you how to mount this O'Connor head. Now, I think at this point, I'm going to need to stop you and kind of say, this is not set in stone. There are a lot of different ways to get this to work. What I'm about to show you is how we got ours to work, okay? Please feel free to check with Mike at Dana Dolly if you have specific questions about getting your tripod head to work. So let's look underneath here. This is the underside of the dolly. Let's put the head on the dolly, and we'll show you the problem here. When you do that, our thing sits right there, right? Okay, take the head off for a second. I'll show you what happens. Well, look at this. Whoop. As you can see, this is not working out for us because it's the plastic ring is too small, and it's going right through the dolly. So here is our solution. We put that on, and then we got a hold of a washer like this. You put the washer on it. The washer's bigger than the hole. And there you go. So now our head is set. In some cases, like the Manfrotto or the Bogan tripods where they have that long rod, well, sure, a long rod will work just fine right there when you're off the ground 4 feet. But remember what we were doing when we were sitting on the table, how low profile it was running? It wouldn't work in that situation. So I would have to replace this thing on the Manfrotto because mine's really long. So just, take your time and figure it out. Mike is really cool at Dana Dolly. He'll help you with just about anything. So if you have any problems with that, feel free to check it out. Okay, let's move on and do something else. There's a couple more things that came with the rental kit that I want to show you. Next up is this guy right there. What he is this is a center support arm. In the chance that you're using a very, very long piece of pipe, say 10, 15 feet, you could get some sag in the middle of the pipe if you have a really heavy camera. So on the rental kit, one of the things that they include, or you could buy separately, is this center support. Takes a normal light stand or C-stand stud. It does not take a junior because it's really not supporting that much weight. It's more, its purpose is more based around stabilization, okay? Tighten it in place, and then you would put your dolly back on. And if it was a long piece of track, that would take the sag out of it, all right? So that is how you use the center support. Lastly but not leastly, you have a monitor arm. Actually, this is not really a monitor arm, it's an arm. It'll hold pretty much anything. It'll also hold an LED light or whatever you would want to use. I'll show you how to use that here real quick. So for the monitor arm, there are 4 holes on the Dana Dolly. There's one here, 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 and over here. And right here are screw studs, so you could screw in standard equipment that you might need. But let's go ahead and focus on the monitor arm for a second. It's very, very easy to put this thing on. It's no challenge to it per se. It's simply unscrew your deal here, put it through the hole, and then screw it back on. And there you go. This is really, I use it mainly for putting an on-camera monitor on my deal here. Believe it or not, that is pretty much it. That is the Dana Dolly. Okay, so that's how you set it up. Let's talk about something else. Why do I like it? You heard some of the reasons as we were going through the installation part, but I want to give you some basic ideas that really turned me on when I used this and why, when I looked at all the different sliders, I gravitated to the Dana Dolly. Number one, the platform. This thing has really been well made, and it's not that light. And you may think, oh my God, that's terrible. I want something lightweight. Well, I don't. Not when I'm doing dolly work. I need a certain amount of resistance so that my acceleration and movement is smooth. I want to feel something pushing against my fingers so that I can control how smoothly this thing works if I want to pick up speed and then slow it down. See, one of the things that's cool about this is it's using a standard measurement pipe. You can get this pipe at Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever. So you can theoretically go on location with this system and then buy some cheap piping at Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever, use it, and then discard it when you're done. These are the things that I like to look at when I'm looking for a product. I want to know not only what is it designed to do, but what can I do with it that it may not necessarily be designed to do? What more can I get out of it? So it's a lot of fun to use. Not only that, and I got to tell you, this is a big thing, it's not that expensive. These things, I have seen sliders get well into $2,000. Well, I don't quote prices on these things because I don't know when you're going to see the video, and 10 years from now it may be a different price. But I can tell you, at least for this time in 2011, this thing sells for under $1,000. That is a rough overview. The combo stands aren't really part of the Dana Dolly system. You do have to have them. I will tell you, though, it's really fun to be able to take the whole thing. We do this a lot. If you're in a big room, we set this up and just roll it around. We were shooting a bunch of hospital commercials, and we were just rolling this thing everywhere. Guys shot, roll it. I don't even think I was locking the wheels. I would just stop the thing where it was, do my shot, go, oh wow, aren't I cool? And then go back and I'm done and I roll off to the next shot. It allows you to get moving. That's why I like the combo stands with the wheels. So if you do get the Dana Dolly, they got a deal too. I think it's called AZ Grip. You're going to have to correct me if I'm wrong. Go to the Dana Dolly website, which we'll put on the screen here, and check, and he'll have that for you. But they give you a really good deal on the combo stands and the wheels because they worked out a deal with Dana Dolly. So that really helps in terms of pricing and things. I think I've covered just about everything that I've wanted to tell you about with this system. There's a lot of other choices out there. You're going to have to use what works for you. I can't tell you that this is the perfect thing for everybody. But what I can tell you is this is the most flexible system that I've seen. If I need a dolly that's 3 foot long or 20 feet, I can do it with this system. And that means a lot to me. Also, I'm not limited by weight. If I put a small DSLR on this thing, it's going to work just as well because they made sure that there was enough weight in the platform to where a light camera is not going to screw up your movements. If I put a 100-pound camera, then it's going to work fine just as well because this railing is strong and able to handle that kind of weight. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and check with Dana Dolly, or you can go to our blog and feel free to ask me anything you'd like. You call us by email, however you want to. We're happy to help. But this should be a fairly good overview of the Dana Dolly system and how to use it. Thanks for watching.